right, guys. Hey, guys, we're live here on a Sunday night. I'm sure a lot of you guys are catching some football. But it's okay. My Browns aren't playing. Gosh, I got so many papers here. Actually, who else is with me here? Say hello there, Mr. Cox.
How you doing?
All right. So, really quick here, I want to put it out on the record that we were here last time with the episode 2, the first and the second one, and we had talked about, you thought that your name got brought up from a fellow person in the neighborhood.
Yeah, in the previous episodes, I had spoke about how the police found out where I was, being at my brother's college, and I said it was Darius Boyd, but and that's where I got it from. I got it from Timmy Patrick. Timmy Patrick told me that, but after speaking with Darius, I realized that, and I don't have no reason not to take what he say for true. He's never lied to me before, so he said that he didn't do it, so I wanted to clarify the record, because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to slander people's name. I'm just trying to tell my story. But at the end of the day,
yeah,
he said he didn't do it, and I prefer to go with that narrative than
you have 1 minute left.
Than what Timmy Patrick said, because we all know that.
We all know. We all know that story.
Right. So I just wanted to make sure that I clarified that.
Okay, perfect. Well, welcome to Truth and Transparency. We're being very transparent here. I am fighting for a gentleman that I believe that was railroaded in the system out of Pennsylvania. Me and Mr. Cox here, Dayvon Cox. He's been serving, how many years has it been now? Since 2000 and what? Well, you've been incarcerated since 2005.
Yeah, 18 years.
18 years. Okay. So, you didn't kill anybody.
Oh no, it's about to hang up. I'm gonna have to call back.
Okay, call back then. Okay, sir, I'll talk to you here in a minute.
The caller has hung up.
All right, guys, welcome to the Transparency. One of the cases is for Fight for a Family is Dayvon Cox. I got 4,000 pages here in Discovery, working closely with his family, his loved ones. Lindsay, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, I want to tell everybody that I was able to get to go through all the phone records in this case. If you haven't seen the first 2 episodes, go check them out. But basically, Dayvon took us through his day, his day, that day that actually put him behind bars here now. And one of the gentlemen that was with him was Brandon Rivas, who is on the run right now and wanted for the murder of Savante Gilliam. Do I think that Brandon committed that crime? I believe in our U.S. Constitution, you are innocent until proven guilty, especially in Beaver County, and that's out of Beaver County. So, but is he back? Hey, how are you?
All right.
Okay. So I was just updating everybody that this is episode 3, but the first 2 episodes we talked about, you talking about your day that day.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm going to introduce to everybody that, hey, the day that you guys just heard and how it transpired. Now let's hear from the case. Like what case did they put against, you, which is completely different from what you kind of said. Not completely different, but the big parts of it, are, we're going to have some huge discrepancies, right?
Right.
Mm. Okay, so the first thing I want to get out is Dayvon Cox is a gentleman who was incarcerated in 2005, not for murder. Nobody died, but for how many counts did you go up against that day?
37.
37 counts.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, because I have them here, the jury found you guilty of how many?
I think it was 9.
Was it 9 count? Yeah, 9 counts, which it was not murder. It was not anything to do with homicide related. Nothing rape related, right? It was what was it? What was the terminology for your counts there?
As far as what? Which one?
Well, you were found guilty for 9 counts.
Right.
So kidnapping,
robbery.
Okay.
It's 6.
It's 6.
Robbery, kidnapping, aggravated assault, sexual assault, and terroristic threats and firearms.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. 6.
So 6 counts, but you were at the time it was like 37.
Right.
And
They
then,
overcharged.
and then the jury is handed. You had now 4 co-defendants.
Yes.
So if you guys haven't seen the first 2 episodes, this is a live recap here. So Dayvon had himself plus 4 co-defendants. All the co-defendants took plea deals. Basically, if you plead guilty to XYZ and testify against yourself in quote unquote things that had happened that night, you're looking at a year or 2 or probation.
A 1 or 2, well, 10 to 23 months, a 1 or 2, a 1.5 to 3, and a 7 to 14.
Okay. And so what did your co-defendants end up serving?
2 of them, one went right home. Nobody outside of Brandon Rivers served more than
This is a call from
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Green.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
Yeah, nobody outside of Rivers. Rivers served 8 years, I think.
Okay.
And everybody else served a year or less.
Okay. So, and they were all looking at the same type of charges unless they took this deal, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So basically how me and Mr. Cox got linked up is I've been doing work in Beaver County. And when I heard about his story, I never wanted to actually, I didn't want to do it because it involved an alleged sexual assault. And it was something that I was like, nobody wants to do anything like that. Nobody wants to talk about that. Those are hard. But I believed in the person that told me about the story. And so I was like, okay, I want to meet with his family. And so I met with his family. And after I met with his family, I said, okay, I need everything because I need to go through it all. Let me put it in order. And then let me dig out different points of where I think that I believed Dayvon, and I believe that he was railroaded. So Dayvon is serving
23 to 54 years.
Is it 23 to 54?
Yeah, 23 to 54.
23 to 54 years. And his co-defendants who basically lied and told them the version that they wanted to make sure that they got this man, are all of them only served, except for one, basically served no time or 1 to 2 years. And the one gentleman who served 8, he actually now is on the run, and the cops want him for a murder that happened in 2000 and Savante Gilliam. And that was 2016, right?
This is the call from
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Green.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
I think. Was it?
Yeah, was it? I think his was 2016. That's what kind of led to the murders in Aliquippa that I started covering, which was Savante's in 2016, Rachel Daltondo's in 2018. And so then when I saw that Dayvon's mom was one of the persons that I was interested in speaking with in the Jamie Brown case from 2001, that he allegedly killed a police officer. Well, we all know that Jamie Brown did not kill Officer Nime, and that he was set up. And Jamie Brown, and I'm fighting, and he deserves to come home. He actually was not charged with first degree. He was charged with third degree murder of a police officer, which is unheard of in itself. But this is a woman that recanted her story against Jamie Brown. And that was a story that I was covering, a case that I was covering. And when I heard about this, and then I found out that these two dates of Dayvon being, set up in my eyes, railroaded, as I like to call it. He was railroaded, but he was railroaded by I'm alleging that he was railroaded by a detective out of Beaver County who had it out for his mom. And once she recanted, within 4 days, this case came upon Dayvon. And you can't make up the dates. The dates are there. She recanted against Jamie Brown, which could possibly set him free, because she was the one that said, Jamie Brown talked to me about killing cops. Well, that never happened. She only said that because that's what the prosecution wanted her to say. And so she comes clean a couple years later, and she writes that to her dad. She puts it in a letter. So she comes clean. And the next thing that you know, Dayvon, who he'll tell you guys, he's not, this all-American kid that did no wrong. Go back and watch episode 1 and 2. But he did not do this. It's one thing, like, you may not be perfect as a kid, but Dayvon was forced to grow up very, very quickly. And because his mom basically recanted against Jamie Brown, it's one of those things that, okay, I'm going to come for what you love. And what Rayetta Lee loved more than anything was her son. And that's who Dayvon Cox is. So people are asking, by the way, who Dayvon Cox is. And I kind of wanted people to know that are watching that Beaver County is one of the most corrupt places I've ever seen. And Dayvon did not do certain things. And he wants to tell his story. And people don't realize what happened based on you thinking that I'll just say this because the cops want me to, but you don't realize what happened because of that. What you think could be nothing. Oh, well, I just said that I didn't know this person, or I said this, or I said that. Well, this gentleman is sitting here in prison today still, and it's been 18 years, and he is serving a 23 to 56 year life sentence. I consider that life. I don't care what anybody says, but what type of life are you going to have after you sit in prison for 56 years?
Right.
If he was to sit there, you know what I mean? So I was going through some stuff, Dayvon, and I want to give you some good news. Is I went through all the phone records, and they basically said that Dayvon set up this drug deal that led to all of this. And I went through the phone records of Brandon Morgan. There's 2 Brandons, so I have no choice but to say the other name. It's all in public record. But Brandon Morgan's phone records are off the hook. Do you know that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't even here.
You didn't call Brandon Morgan one time. I don't have you calling Brandon Morgan one time.
I never had his number.
You never had his number. So how could you have set up any drug deal with Brandon Morgan?
Yeah, this was set up months before I even came back to Pennsylvania from Atlanta.
Okay. So the other thing I was going through is not only do I have all of Brandon Morgan's phone records here through Verizon. You never called him because Brandon Morgan is a guy who was, think about back in 2005. Think about somebody that was the finish line manager. White kid, hey, let me get, my sneakers. I'll give you, half off. Give me some weed type shit. Is that more or less what it was about?
That's what it looked like when I first entered into the situation.
Okay. So I went ahead and I looked, and so Brandon Morgan, his girlfriend put a protection order out against him during your guys' trial. Did you know that?
Yes, it came out in trial.
Did you know that they were not allowed to use this in trial?
Yes.
Yeah. So like,
I mean, because it furthered my the storyline as far as me explaining to him why she helped with certain things, why everything went down the way that it did, as far as her telling us he got money, telling us about them trying to set us up, her helping me wipe down the car. So they looking at it and it goes against their story of they was just this happy couple.
yeah.
And why would she do that? Why would she go against her boyfriend?
Guess what else I found out?
What else?
So I was looking through every single number that called his phone or that he called during a month period. He never once called her cell phone, meaning his girlfriend. So his girlfriend didn't have a cell phone. Remember in the reports when it said that you took cell phones out so that nobody could call like the police and stuff like that?
Yeah.
She didn't have a cell phone.
No, only Misty Martin had a cell phone.
And guess what I can
Something.
and guess what else I can prove? He
What?
would call her cell phone because they lived in a duplex that was side by side. So when Brandon Morgan needed to talk to his girlfriend, he would call Misty. Misty would then go and tell Missy would then go and tell hey Jamie, Brandon's on the phone. He just called me, and then hand it to her.
Right.
So she didn't have a cell phone. So that even goes more towards control and power of why couldn't the girl have a cell phone?
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because I'm looking at it every which way. I went through every single call that he made in a month. What boyfriend doesn't call their girlfriend and vice versa for a whole month?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went through that, and I was.
It was evident that they had something going on that, where it wasn't a happy relationship.
Oh yeah, no, and I think that what she was doing that night, it was like a dig at him. I'm gonna hang out.
You have 1 minute left.
Are you able to call back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
The caller has hung up.
Dayvon's gonna give a call back.
Yeah.
So again, if you guys are hanging out, this is a case that I really want you guys to consider following. I did 2 episodes to explain the story, and then this is a live. You get to hear here me and Dayvon, his girl Lindsay. These are 2 amazing human beings. And
thank you, Dana.
oh, well, we love you. So he's gonna give a call back. But yeah, so I was going through a ton of stuff here, and it's just, man. When I was able to go through every single one of those Verizon, look at how old this is, guys. Like, look at these old Verizon, December 6th, or I'm sorry, the November 6th, 2005. Like, look at that. I went through a whole month, every single call that was made from this number. And not a single one of them went back to the girl that that Brandon dated. And I was like, okay, so she didn't have a cell phone. So how did they communicate? Well, they communicated through, Missy's phone. Misty. What does she go by? Missy. But I hope they let him call back. You think they will? What is up, Deja Vu? Trying over here. Trying. Hey, how are you?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. It took a minute.
They took a minute to let you through. They said, you talking to that crazy girl? No, I'm just playing. That's probably what it was too. They were like, hey, you talking to that crazy girl? So those of you guys that are back with me, this is Dayvon. Dayvon, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Dayvon, so like, I know we try to talk when we can. Let's see here. A couple things I wanted to ask you was, do you remember? Okay, so I went through Brandon Morgan's phone records, and they were saying he said that he had never been in Aliquippa, like that he never goes to those parts. Well, I don't know if I told you this, but I went ahead and I took all of his phone records, and I was able to look at all of his points of origin. So, like when you made the phone call, where were you?
Right.
He was in Aliquippa. He was in Aliquippa, like on numerous occasions when he was making these phone calls. So, like when he says to the courts, I didn't know the area I was in. I'm never hardly in Aliquippa. We didn't know where we were. That's a flat out lie based off the cell phone records.
Right.
He was actually in Aliquippa. Do you know this? The night before you guys all did what you did, somebody wants to know if you were called Day back in the day.
No.
So somebody they're from Aliquippa. They just want to know if you were that person. Aaron says, "Hey, back to Dayvon. If you could see, best of luck." So people are just like writing in and saying that they're looking out for you.
I appreciate the love.
Just want you to know that and see that. But yeah, when I was looking at the phone calls, and I noticed that Brandon's calls were actually originating in Aliquippa. He was actually in Aliquippa the day and the day before this whole thing happened. He was there. But he lived across the bridge in Ambridge. So what I'm working on is I'm trying to see where he was hanging out and who he was hanging out with, before all this went down.
The crazy thing is, I didn't know nothing of Brandon Morgan or none of these people or even this situation until the very day this whole situation happened, until November 16th. That was my first knowledge of anything that was going on or who these people was. I came in at the very...
This is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
Like I said, I had nothing to do with setting this up. So he may have been in Aliquippa. He may have been dealing with these people during these time periods where they was trying to set up this drug deal. But I never had no dealings with him. I didn't know anything about a drug deal or none of this until the very day.
Yeah, I mean, he could even identify you.
No, he didn't. But the crazy thing is, he identified me at the police station after being down there for 8 hours. But his initial statement to the police was that it was 2 men in ski masks that came to his car and wanted to rob him for marijuana in his truck.
Yeah.
Nothing about his girlfriend. I don't know how you even identify 2 people in ski masks, but his initial statement had nothing to do with what we're here today about.
Yeah, no, it does not. Yeah, and if 2 people are there in ski masks, how are you identifying anybody if they're in a ski mask?
Right.
And then it's like, okay, we were just lying.
Yeah, what happened was Timmy Patrick. He told him that we went to a sheet. So what happened was Timmy Patrick went to the sheets and reviewed the tapes and seen me on there. And then after that, he identified me. And after that, he started telling a different story that they have now. But this was after 8 hours after Timmy Patrick. Timmy Patrick knows me my whole life. He's harassed me my whole life. So
yeah, and Timmy Patrick is he's the same person that basically told your mom if like you recant on the whole Jamie Brown thing, we're, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So like I said, I looked into some more stuff though,
This
but
is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
I came across some other stuff I wanted to read for you. I want to know if this helps. So the apartments that you guys went to, I have 4 different witnesses, of which one of them completely goes against the narrative. And do you remember if they were ever called to the stand? Like I looked through everything, and these people were never called to the stand. But maybe I'm missing a page or something.
I remember one female being called to the stand.
But the guy wasn't, right?
No.
Okay. So here's the City of Aliquippa Police Department. Here's a 11/16/2005 police report, okay? Back in the day. It says on 11/16/05 at about 1:52 a.m., officers received a call of a burglary, and it was on Kennedy Boulevard. Black male actor headed down Kennedy Boulevard towards the Aliquippa Fire Department. I headed west on Franklin Avenue and turned left onto Main Street in an attempt to possibly head off the actor at Main and Marietta. As I passed Carroll Street, I saw one white female and one white male sitting on the curb in front of the Hilltop Market convenience store. I proceeded. Now, where's the Hilltop Market convenience store compared to where you were that night?
Right across the street.
Okay. So is that where you dropped them off? Is that where they would have been?
In that vicinity, yeah.
In that vicinity. So they would have like, it wasn't like you dropped them right. Like they would have had to walk over that area, right? At least a little bit. Okay.
They had to walk to that corner.
Okay, they would have had to walk to that corner. Okay, I proceeded to the intersection of Main and Marietta and passed a black male riding a bicycle. I headed back towards Carroll Street and radioed for assistance in an effort to identify the black male on the bicycle. As I approached the intersection of Carroll and Main, I was stopped by the male and female that I had passed previously. The white male, later identified as Brandon Morgan, stated that he had been carjacked. Like, you got to love Aliquippa police officers and the way they write. Carjacket. The white male, later identified as Brandon Morgan, stated that he had been carjacked at gunpoint by 2 unknown black males. I noticed blood on his shirt and a cut on his forehead. He continued to state that the actors left the area in an unknown direction in a black Ford Explorer. He also stated that the actors took his girlfriend, later identified as Jamie, after they forced both girls to strip themselves of their clothing. Sergeant Seelock arrived shortly after, and I briefed him on the incident. County 911 Center aired a preliminary alert based on the initial information given to us by the reporting person and witness. See how they said the reporting person, not persons? Did they not talk to Jane? Did they not talk to the other girl that was with him?
She wrote a statement as well.
Yeah.
But she said that we had on black hoodies, black ski masks, and jeans.
Yeah. Look at you guys. I can't make this up though. Look at the way they say jacket. I just want you guys to see that. I want you guys to see what they write. Jacket. Like good old Aliquippa police officers hijacked, not hijacket. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Even in that situation, when my lawyer questioned Brandon Morgan about why he didn't stop the police the first time. He said that they was trying to make up a story.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the binders that I have over here, just all of this to talk about all of this is just it's mounds, but it's so hard because you just you see this and you just see the bullshit. You see all the stuff. And basically what ended up happening, for those that are new, I encourage you to please watch the first 2 episodes. Basically there was a group of people that went to go pick up marijuana. And then all of a sudden it went from going to pick up marijuana to a rape and a multiple gangbang rape. And then let's put them on charges for guns and just everything that you could possibly imagine that this was not. And I actually went and looked up like the date that you guys were there, because like I wanted to know if it was like a Friday, a Saturday. This was on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I was actually going back to Atlanta the next day.
Yeah, but I think that something that people don't. I know for me, this was a Tuesday night. This was this wasn't on the weekend. We're hanging out like a planned thing. This was like a last minute. You got asked to ride along to go pick up some marijuana with.
Right.
You don't even live in that town anymore. With some dudes, one of which you knew well, 2 of which you didn't know well. And so you're going to pick up marijuana because these guys facilitated we're going to go buy some weed.
Right.
And so like, how does it go from going to buy some weed to this? And
what people don't know is Brandon Morgan's intent was to rob us. That's why he called the guy Otto. Their intentions was to rob us. And we just happened to get to jump on him.
Yeah.
So,
but see, like, I think that's yes, I do. I think that's what, like, that was about to go down. But I think what also was about to go down, though, is you just said it best when we first started this, is that guy did not give up your name to Timmy, but somebody did. Because you were personally asked to come along. If you didn't set this up, then you got asked to go.
Right.
Okay. Well, then who coughed all of that up that this went down that way?
Well, from what I get, Brandon Rivas told his mother or somebody in his family, and I guess they told Timmy Patrick. But it could have been Brandon Rivas telling them where dropped me off. He was already
but I'm sitting here telling you right now that I believe that this was a setup from jump. So who knew that you were in town? Because they've been talking on the phone back and forth. Like, I'm telling you, I got Brandon Morgan. I have his phone records. I can put him in Aliquippa literally every single night of that month. Like, he was no stranger to Aliquippa. Ambridge is right across the bridge. So you go back and you go forth, and it's like 5 minutes to get to literally, the heart of Aliquippa to the heart of Ambridge is a 6-minute drive.
Right.
Okay. So, but for me, when I listen to Brandon Morgan's, and we're going to get into that because I'm going to be reading off the whole transcripts. When Brandon Morgan takes a stand and the other girls take the stand, this is... they act like they'd never been in Aliquippa in their whole life. Like, oh my God, we don't go there because it's so bad. Bitch, you are lying, because I have your phone records and you're in Aliquippa every freaking day.
Right.
So why
You have 1 minute
why
left.
are you lying?
And just the whole situation, it was as if Jamie, like, this wasn't the first time that she was a part of something like this.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed as though they was terrified, they was afraid, and shoot, Missy Martin was playing a game while all this was going on her phone.
Yeah, and she says that in her testimony.
Yeah, so nobody was it wasn't like they wanted to portray it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And she helped me wipe my fingerprints off, and I made demands, and like. So this wasn't.
Well, okay, let me ask you something about that, though. Think about that. Why would we need to wipe down anything? Did she already know? Think about that. Did she already know what was going to happen? Because I would never tell you, if I was with you doing anything, that we need to wipe anything
Thank you
down.
for using
That doesn't make any sense. Unless I knew something before you did.
I think he's gonna call that one.
Okay. Yeah, I just think that it's gonna come out here real soon with what I'm doing. Is this was a setup from jump. They wanted this young man. They wanted him because they knew what Ray Lee was about to do. And it's clear as day when you put it all together. And so I'm working on like a video to be able to show this because, you know, it's for you guys to go out.
The same judge on that case too.
What was it? Oh, she went to go pick up his phone. I hate injustice. I just hate dishonesty. I mean, we have police officers that do an amazing job. We have judges that do an amazing job. We have district attorneys that do an amazing job. And then you come across this town that just completely goes against everything that this country believes in.
Hello?
It's sad. Hey. Yeah, so I just want to get to the bottom of is I think that you were targeted based on your mom going to put that, you know, her recant on everything with Jamie Brown. Because who would ever in their right, okay, like let's say me and you, Dayvon, we go out, and why would I ever have to tell you that we need to wipe down a vehicle? Why would I ever think that would need to be done?
Especially if you said that you got raped.
Right? So think about that. So think about that. I'm about to tell people that I got raped. No, like she must have known something else was about to happen. She probably didn't know that was about to happen. Part of it. I mean, I have no idea, but all I can tell you is that if I'm part of the setup, if I'm part of the setup and I'm setting you up, I would never be like, hey, we need to wipe down all the fingerprint. I mean, who would ever think to say that? Why are you saying that we need to wipe down this car?
Right.
And for me, that's my hang up. That's my hang up that she's telling you, hey, let's wipe down this car. Like right there, I'd been like, why do we need to wipe down a car? Like, you're going to take this truck back. Like, what's the problem?
Right.
At that point, I would have been questioning, like, why, like, is somebody going to be saying something? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If somebody tells me, hey, we need to wipe this down, and I'm just about to give them the keys for them to just leave, but they say, hey, let's wipe all of this down. I'd be like, why do we have to wipe anything down here? What are you planning on doing? But to me, I know that's what I'd be asking. But her only answer to that would be like, my boyfriend's insane and he's going to blame us or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, I think that she was doing that because she knew what her boyfriend was already like, depending on what he was about to do. And remind you guys that this woman, this Jamie woman, she put a protection order out on her boyfriend. And he wasn't able to use it in court, even though Jamie, who was allegedly his victim, she was scared of her boyfriend, not this male. And that's just, to me, like, why can't that be used in court? No joke. They said in court that no way, we're not letting this in.
And the crazy thing is, she never identified me. And no photo lineup, no in-court lineup, nothing.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
So I just, to me, it tells me everything I would ever need to know. Like, but at the same time, it's like anything in life. If you would have probably given your lawyer an extra $50,000 to do this case, then they would have been able to get X, Y, Z. But that's why I want to read the transcripts. I want to show you guys what transpired in this trial.
State Correctional Institution, Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
I want my channel subscribers and members to play jury. Like, I want you to listen to this thing from top to bottom. Like, here we go. Everybody that's watching, we're gonna read off. your guys' your transcripts, Dayvon, and I want them to hear what nobody else heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has all been so hush hush. Nobody's gotten to hear what happened in that courtroom. There was no court TV there to play this bullshit that happened. But let's put it out there. Like, so I'm gonna read off the trial transcripts and let's hear what.
Letter from Vineyard.
What was it, hon?
I said, even with the letter I sent you from Vineyard, nobody knows that
Yeah.
he sold me out.
Yeah.
Nobody know that he tried to extort my family for more money, and because we refused to give him more money than what was agreed upon, he refused to do all the necessary things he should have done to help me get a better trial.
It's ridiculous. It's sad. And I think that you should be disbarred for that. I mean, come on. How can somebody write somebody, if you don't pay me more money? You might as well have said, this is why I say go with a public defender, but you have to still know what you can do and what you can say, because the state, hey, go out and get me this person, go out and get me that person. But he's over here saying, give me more money or I'm not going to do that. And it's like, that's against the law. That's against your oath.
It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the money for us, because we went out and got Todd Hollis and paid him another $10,000. But
this is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
For us, it was more about principle. We agreed upon this, and we paid you this. And now that you know that this trial might take longer than what you expected, he wrote me and told me that since your family don't want to give me more money, the time that I planned on spending going back doing pretrial motions and research, I won't be doing, because I gotta go out and pick up other cases to make up for the money that I'm not getting from you. So, I mean, I feel like the fix was in throughout the whole trial.
I just couldn't imagine saying that to somebody. We're talking about, like, if you know somebody did something or not. You see the paperwork, you know that this kid got railroaded, and you're going to write that shit. And you're going to say that shit to somebody. That's insane. And you got a kid. Everybody else is out. Didn't even serve time due to some pencil pusher named Timmy Patrick, allegedly, who's been railroading black men in Aliquippa since day one, just to further his agenda in life. He rides whatever white man is going hard. He just comes up from behind and is like, hey guys, I'm here. And I'm going to, ride or die with you, just to push his, agenda with his career. And I'm telling you, he's the one that contacted Rashad Brown. And Rashad Brown said that he would talk to me, and then all of a sudden wouldn't talk to me. Because I said, that's funny that your middle name is Marquay. And that's the name that was used as this person of who everybody was talking to. The drug deal was set up between Marquay, a.k.a. Walker, and Rashad Brown, who worked with Brandon Morgan. Meanwhile, Dayvon Cox was out in Atlanta. Okay. So Dayvon Cox is out in Atlanta, but you got all these little 21-year-olds over here in Finish Line all jerking off to each other and talking about God knows what. But yeah, let's pick up some weed from so-and-so. Great. Awesome. Next thing you know, he comes in for a funeral, seeing his minor children from his baby mama. And somebody got wind that he was in town. And what better time to jam you up because you're in town? And it was right after your mom.
1 second. Because they terminated insurance, so they sending us in.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, so listen, I'm going to try to go in right now and get back on the phone. I'm going to try to call you back when I get on the block.
Okay, when you get on the block, I'm right here.
All right, I'll call y'all back.
Okay, I'll be right here. I
The
will,
caller has hung up.
I will ride hard for this young man because I have the paperwork. I've done the research. I've read everything about this case, what has happened to him, and what has happened to a lot of people in Beaver County is bullshit. And I just cannot believe that y'all are continuing in Beaver County, Pennsylvania to vote for the people that you vote for. Like, wake the fuck up, man. And yeah, when I cuss, I guess I'm passionate about it. I was trying to rock the Aviators. It's just sad. I just can't imagine this being my kid, think about it being your family member. Think about you wanting to right a wrong that you did and that your kid pays the ultimate sacrifice because some Beaver County detective wants to put a notch on his belt like he's some big and bad. No, I know all the things that you've done to your ex-wife. Like, you're scum. You're scumbag. And it's all going to come out. It is. Beaver County shit. So, and it's shit, not because the people that live there. The people that live there are great people. It's the people that are in charge of making decisions in that town. So, you rock them well. Thanks, they're all saying. Thank you. Thanks for that. Yeah, exactly. How do some people sleep at night? They have they don't give a shit. Yeah, David, absolutely. Monaca, that whole damn town, that whole damn county is, but guys, corruption doesn't start from the bottom. No patrolman. I'm corrupt. I'm a patrolman. No. Corruption starts from up here and it trickles. And it's, I know just who you are talking about. Just me, but the best part about it is this ain't alleged. It's all right here. Timmy Patrick called the guy named Rashad Brown at 4:00 in the morning. 4:00 in the morning. How is a detective that a case just happened? You're supposed to be sleeping in your bed with your wifey poo. Or did you not do that? But you're supposed to be sleeping in bed. How are you possibly getting a phone call the night of this so-called criminal activity? And by 4:00 in the morning, you're calling a guy named Rashad Brown. Do you have Rashad Brown on fucking speed dial? How are you possibly able to get in touch with a guy named Rashad Brown? I mean, you're in bed sleeping because this crime happened at 1:52 and it ain't even been reported yet. I mean, I just read the report to you guys, the affidavit for probable cause, 1:52 a.m. So this is all going down at 1:52 a.m. So this is going down at 1:52 a.m. By the time you get a phone call, because this is not even your block anymore. You're big time now, Beaver County detective. So you get this call at some point, but God bless it, you're able to call Rashad Brown. Why is Rashad Brown important? And you call him at 4 a.m. and it's in paperwork, which I have right here. I'm going to have a field day with this because you're a liar. Yes, you're being dishonest. And you were dishonest when you took the stand. They lie for each other. Absolutely, they lie for each other. We will ride with you. Thank you, Margaret. But I'm so sick and tired of seeing this. I'm so sick and tired of seeing, this area get labeled for all these things. No. What case is this? I can't find anything. I know. Isn't that just amazing what they hide? This is a 2005 case, but I had the pleasure of talking to Rashad Brown, and he said that he would talk to me. And then in a matter of a couple hours, he wouldn't.
Say what, a day?
What'd you say?
Yeah, and in a matter of what, a day, then he wouldn't answer the phone?
Yeah, a matter of what? Like, then he said all of a sudden he wouldn't talk to me. Dude, I'm like, why wouldn't Rashad Brown talk to me? Oh, because the Beaver County detective, Timmy Patrick, called him within 2 hours of this whole thing going down. Like, how did he even find out about it? How long would it take for a Beaver County detective to know something about this when it wasn't even like about that yet? I have his paperwork that says Rashad Brown was called at 4 a.m. How do you even have his number? Who even is Rashad Brown? Well, guess what? I did my homework. Rashad Brown worked at Finish Line. He worked with fucking Brandon Morgan. Him and Brandon Morgan were the people that were actually setting up a drug deal with his cousin Walker, Demarius Walker. Rashad Brown's middle name is Marquay. Marquay is the guy in all of this bullshit. Marquay wanted the drug deal. Well, Dayvon is not Marquay, but Rashad Brown's middle name is Marquay. Put it together, folks. And then Marquay gets a phone call from the Beaver County detective literally 2 hours, actually less than 1 hour and 52 minutes after even like just a radio goes in. What the fuck's going on around here? Come on, man. I'll tell you what's going on around here. Corruption. This is some corrupt ass shit. And trust me, Timmy's name is Timmie. You cannot put a Y. It's Timmie, Patrick. But
What you say, Lana?
oh, but I'm just hanging out with you, girl. Yeah.
Oh. I'm over here watching the game.
Oh wait, did we win? Did the Bengals win?
Yes, y'all did. And now we're watching.
Only reason I root for the Bengals is because of Joe Cool. That's why I have my glasses on tonight. Joe Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just I'm gonna go hard for Sheldon. I'm gonna go hard for Tyreek Pugh. I'm gonna go hard for Rachel Hurtado. I'm gonna go hard for Dayvon. I'm gonna go hard for these people in Aliquippa, Jamie Brown, who I believe have been systematically fucked due to Beaver County. So I'm very passionate about it, and it's so upsetting. It's really upsetting to me, because if people out there, and that's why I needed it to get out there, if people out there that testified even knew what happened because of their testimony, they would be crying every single day because they don't know what happened because of it. They don't know that their testimony led to somebody getting 25 to 56 years. Like, their lies led to this. Nobody raped anybody, okay? Nobody did anything like that. Nobody shot at anybody. No, you have a punk-ass kid named Brandon Morgan who has a rap sheet for days, okay? Being the manager at Finish Line. You have Timmy Patrick's nephews or first cousins trying to score some weed and using Brandon Morgan, and they're being young teenagers or early teens or late teens, whatever. They're 20 years old. And Rashad Brown at some point, who I find just very, very interesting, his lifestyle, that Timmy Patrick, of all people, would have him as a confidential informant, okay? To the point that he calls him. How the fuck would Timmy Patrick know to call Rashad Brown in any of this when Rashad Brown hasn't even been mentioned? Oh, but Brandon Morgan mentioned him. Oh, and then Timmy Patrick just knew who he was to dial him up? Are you insane? That's like saying the sheath in the Brian Kohlberger case, when it comes out and it has no other DNA, not even blood on it, and y'all want to say it's not going to be planted? Well, that's crazy because the bed's covered in blood, but the sheath has no blood. Just one unidentified male DNA on the clip of the button. Okay. When shit smells like shit and looks like shit, it is shit. Period. But people keep voting for these people.
Lana.
Yeah.
Hey, back.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. I'm over here just pile driving for you.
Yeah, because everybody came in, so they weren't gonna leave just one person in New York.
Oh, okay. So you have to come in too.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. I got people here. I got people in chat. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions for Dayvon? Like, what do you think? You guys support this channel. You guys support, fighting for injustice. What do you think? Go back and watch episode 1 and 2. I'm telling you, this young man we're pretty much the same age. What year did you graduate? 2000 and what?
3.
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah. 00 ho here, I just gotta say that all the time. I think it's hilarious. We had our little shirts that said that. So it's yeah. So we're the same age. I mean, we're a couple years off. Hey, tell Dayvon, Gina right here. B says, tell Dayvon he has supporters here. And people are going to catch up. They want to know about the case. So I told them that, to go watch episode 1 and 2. They know.
I appreciate it. That's all I ever wanted was for people to really know the truth of my story and not just what was put out there to the public. But I mean, I want to give them both sides of the coin so that they can make a choice on what they believe and what they don't believe. And, for so long, the narrative has been what the police and my co-defendants put out there.
Yeah.
So now I want the truth out there. So I appreciate the support.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows that your district attorney is voted on. Just so you guys know, I'm not talking about the police. The police obviously don't get voted on, but your district attorney has a lot to say about a lot of things. They decide if something is prosecuted and how it's prosecuted. So when I'm talking about voting, go out there and you need to vote for judges. You need to vote for your DA. We have somebody says, Mike Droppin says this is breaking her heart. A lot of people say, Dayvon, we got you. This person says, cases like this are exactly why you never, ever trust the media, because they can put out whatever they want. And that's absolutely true there. Sarah put that out there.
Some people fall through the cracks and you get lost in the system, and for real, nobody knows what's going on with them. Nobody can understand it. Fight that they're going through, they think that y'all saying, no, we innocent, we ain't do it. But at the end of the day, I stood by what I said, and I've never said that I was completely innocent. I just said that the things that they're saying, some of the things that they're saying, I didn't do. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the reasons that I was willing to take the risk of going to trial and losing and getting the time that I got, then to take a plea deal for something that I didn't do.
That's exactly right. And I said at the beginning, I said that
this is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
I said that in the beginning of this, I said that Dayvon's never claimed to be some kid that's never did anything wrong in his life. And in fact, you've owned everything that you did. And it's just at this point that I think 18 years is more time than anything that you would have done in this situation, that this type of time is for something that you didn't do. This is about a gun that they never found. There's no gun that was there. There was no gun that was found. And when you're talking about gun charges on top of charges, you guys get charged. Like, that's like juries don't pay attention to what this is implicating. Some kid said there was a gun there. Well, but there was no gun there. There was no bullets found. There was no casings found. There was no gun found. There was nothing found. And in fact, when you guys hear me read off what the doctor, what the ME, the person that examined Brandon Morgan, he said, in all the years that I've ever done this in my whole entire career, I have never examined somebody with their lawyer present. Yeah. Wait till you hear this shit in court. This is unbelievable what you guys are going to hear about this case. And this man needs to come home. He has a family waiting for him. He has kids. Like, how old are your kids now?
My son Dayvon is 19. My daughter Dayana is 18, and my youngest daughter Dayaja is 17. So she'll be 17.
So 19, 18, and 17.
You have 1 minute left.
Yep. 19, 18, and 16 right now.
16. Oh, she'll be 17?
Yeah, she'll be 17, and Dayana will be 19. Both of them be their birthdays is in February.
Well, you got support here. We're hoping that people do the right thing. Like I said, in the Jamie Brown case, people came forward and they were like, yeah, this didn't happen, and I want to recant. So I know people are out there that they are listening to this, and I am begging you to do the right thing. I am begging you, once I start reading this case and in the trial transcripts, I am begging for prosecutors out there that had prosecuted this case, when they see all this stuff, like, come on. Like,
There's a lot of people. Before we hang up, too, I just want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for giving me the platform to get on here and speak and tell my story, because...
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
oh. I didn't even hear that. Did they say the minute warning? I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, they did.
He's one of the good guys. How's he hanging in, Lens? Is he doing okay?
Yeah, it's been rough the last couple of weeks for him. I think just in general, just overthinking everything and just being ready to go home. Like, so I've been keeping the spirit up.
I know you are, girl. You're one of the good ones too. Are you around tomorrow? Because I'm making a road trip.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to know where I'm going, but I'm gonna come see you. I think if you can meet me over there in Ambridge.
Sure can. I get off work at 3:30. So
Okay.
I sure can.
All right. Well, you know I love you guys, and I'll call you personally on my, when I get off here. But if he happens to call back, just tell him we love him and we're all praying.
All right. Thank you, Lana.
You know that. You're welcome. Love you, girl.
Bye.
All right.
Love you too.
You guys, these are the type of cases that this is what I put a lot of my time into. Nobody wants to come and listen to them, and these aren't the cases that public media wants to jump on, but it's sad. Beaver County, anybody that is out there fighting against what I'm doing in Beaver County is a fool. I pour my heart and soul into helping people in that area, because I have all the paperwork. I see what has happened, and it's a joke. It's sad. It's a joke. It's sad, but I'm telling you, there's people out there that if they can just see this and listen to what happened, they know, because they were part of it. They can come forward and they can say, like, that's not how it happened. That's not how it happened. And there's people in Aliquippa that testified against this young man that know that that's not how it happened. But there's also detectives that know that it didn't happen this way. But you have to ask yourself, why did it happen? And I'm telling you why it happened. It's because his mom recanted against Jamie Brown. And that was one of the cases that I was onto when I was doing Sheldon Jeter Jr. stuff, is Officer Nimes' death, which was a police officer that was shot. And I believe that my opinion is that he was shot by one of his own. And if you go check out my season 2 of Sunset Secrets, I do a whole investigation, and I was able to uncover a ton into Officer Nimes' murder. And they planted evidence. They also tampered with evidence. They planted witnesses. I uncovered that. Sheena Brown needs to come home. Dayvon Cox, Sheldon Jeter Jr., and then Tyreek Pugh and Rachel Altano need to have justice. And unfortunately, Beaver County is corrupt. But if people are out there that saw this and they come forward and tell the truth. But I want you guys to listen to the trial transcripts. I want you guys to listen to what they try to say happened. And then I want to show you guys, I'm going to show you every single report I have. I have every single report. It's 4,000 pages that I've went through. 4,000 pages that I've went through. And I would never, ever come out here and advocate like this if I thought that this man was guilty of what they said he did. He was railroaded by a guy that didn't like him and didn't like his mom. So it's the truth. And it's sad. It's sad because you wish you could do so much more. He has 3 daughters that I just hope that they don't think that he is a scumbag, because he's not. And he's fighting hard. You guys have no idea, out of all this paperwork, Dayvon has like taken all his own notes. He's filed so much stuff on his own. He's done so much stuff on his own. And I got to read through like all of his little notes. He went through and he highlighted stuff, and he was like, look at this, look at this, look at this. He's not just sitting there not doing anything. But he's also like, he's not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. It's just sad. You guys are all great. Need me to help with? Thank you. Keep all your evidence at home. It's already been all scanned in PDF. We got thumb drives all over town. Go find them. Jesse, yeah, we're trying to do that. And it's a project like everybody tries to reach out to them, So I create a little nonprofit that, on a smaller scale, fight for a family. But this is what I put my time to. I cover the mainstream media stuff, honestly, to generate money so that I can have money to be able to use my time to do these type of cases, to fight for people that, are not here able to fight for themselves. So whatever money I can try to generate, you try to do it in different ways. But at the end of the day, people are out there. Yes, he was convicted. He's in prison right now. He's been in prison for 18 years. Sheldon Jeter Jr., thank God I was on that case from jump, so I already have all my evidence already done. That took me 1.5 years to complete, but I have it all in chronological order, his whole discovery. I dismantled it. I did all the videos, all the target points. So that'll be handed over when he gets his retrial, and he'll actually have a defense. So, yeah. Thank you there, Maple Beef. Good to see you. Love you. You like these glasses? I'll look into that. He could have you as a guest on his show. His chat can raise so much money so fast if you shared a GoFundMe for him. I would love for you to email me stuff about that. I'm always looking for ways to help out in any type of way that it can further bring him home, just like Sheldon, just like Jamie. I mean, these aren't people. Dayvon and Jamie, their stuff is not in the limelight. Sheldon still has some light. I was featured with his mom on what was it, NBC, I think. So I'll share this on his locals tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you. So you know what? I would do that over there. Total. Where is it? Look what they said. But then people make it about me, and I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about the person that we're talking about. Then we're going to have too many people flocking. Yeah, perspective 2, absolutely. And thank you for that super chat. So thank you guys again for being here. Please go back and check out the first 2 episodes. There is a playlist. Watch the first 2 episodes, and then myself and Bella are reading off the trial transcripts. so you guys can enjoy the trial transcripts and you guys can hear exactly what went down. And I think it's going to give you guys it's going to just be a complete mind F. Because people can be guilty of things, but 25 to 56 years, nobody lost a life and nobody was raped. And that's not what they found him guilty of either. It's sad. Rayetta, love you. You know I love you, girl. Prayers for you always. Peace and happiness. But please check that out. Please watch the first 2 episodes, and then we're going to start reading the trial transcripts. So, all right, guys. Yay, Bella reading. I know. I got to muster up this voice. But I'm going to start doing my trial transcript reading on her channel because she does all the story times. So I think it'll be perfect for people to listen to while they go to sleep, and then they can keep on coming back and listening. But I'm very passionate about this because I couldn't imagine this being, your family member, your son. I mean, I have a son, and just to know that people could lie and people could do this because it happens. It's real. TNT needs company nurse. I'll take a nurse. We have a requirement for outfits, though. Murderers and that's exactly what I've been saying. That's why I just can't believe this. I cannot believe that even by finding him guilty on any type of a level, how you could be where you're at right now. It just bothers my heart, bothers my mind, bothers my soul. It bothers everything about integrity. It bothers everything about you believe in this system, and then you see this and it keeps repetitively happening in Beaver County, and you're just like, all right, Beaver County, what the fuck? All right, so Perspective 2 says, Lana, please forward all messages of support for D. Men that murdered my friend's daughter received 5 and 7 years. This kid is my son's age. Prayers. Yeah, it's the truth. So thank you guys for being here again. Feel free to share this. And much love to Rada, her family, Dayvon, his daughters. If his daughters ever want to drop my email and chat, I would be happy to. If you don't believe, what your dad's saying or anything like that, please let me show you that. I just want to show you all the work he's done to get home to you girls. You deserve to see that. So I've witnessed through all of the papers I've seen, he did his own, he typed up his own stuff. He did all of his own notes. And he hasn't been wrong. He's not wrong. He's right. And in fact, he didn't find some other stuff, but he doesn't have the resources I had once I got his stuff. And I could never imagine being a lawyer and writing somebody a letter that says that you didn't pay me enough. And so therefore I'm going to basically, I don't care what happens. Because as a lawyer that if you don't prep for something like this and you don't have all the stuff that you need, that's how lawyers win, when you have evidence to be able to litigate. And he had a phenomenal lawyer. But to see that letter that I saw that he wrote, Dayvon, broke my heart. Sad. So when you wonder why you're supporting this channel or you support Fight for a Family, this is what you're supporting. You're supporting the hours that nobody knows about that goes into reading countless police report after police report. I had to do my first rape kit report. I never done one before. Never wanted to read something like that. But thank you guys. And thank you for being here. So share it, and we will talk to you guys soon. But please follow my work with Alicoba, Pennsylvania, Beaver County, Dayvon, Jamie, and Sheldon. I really want to bring them home. It's not because they deserve to be home. I don't like that word deserve. They shouldn't be where they're at. You know, they earn the right to be home because they didn't do what they were accused of doing. And that's the problem. So for me, Crazy Chick, it's good to see you. I love you. You guys take care, and I will see you guys soon. I will stay safe. Thank you, Slayer. Till next time. Don't worry, guys. I got you guys covered with some new Brian Kohlberger stuff. Your girl deep dives. Brian Kohlberger, intern or not, it's coming up. Mabel Beeve, bestie. Fight for a Family would not be it wouldn't be, it'd be done if it wasn't for Mabel Beeve. So if anybody wonders why Fight for a Family is still around, Mabel Beeve. Consider becoming a member. It's $10 a month, 30 cents a day. Like Sarah McLachlan says. I will. Bye, guys.